the session, please?
This meeting is being recorded.
They have started.
Yes, ma'am, have started that recording session.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. So this session is about digital resources for teaching, learning, and assessment. So you will get to know variety of digital resources because this workshop or training is about creating digital resources. So we need to know various formats for and various types of digital resources so that we can work accordingly when we go about creating resources. So first of all, we need to understand what do we understand by digital resources. So digital resources are e-text, video, audio, voice narration, music, sound effects, images, and graphics, singly or in combination to create a fictional or non-fictional media or multimedia narration. So at the end of the day, we need to integrate all these digital resources. So to create a piece of communication or narration, we need to integrate, embed these resources into our teaching learning plan. So anything which is digitally available in the form of e-text, video, audio, voice narration, music, sound effects, images, graphics, and which aids to enhancing the quality of your teaching plan is a digital resource. So let me now go on to the slide where various forms of digital resources are listed. So here you can see the list of digital resources. So that is mind maps, simulations, audio, video, advertisements, interactive media, infographics, photographs, then animations, cartoons, slideshows, timelines, diagrams, flow diagrams, charts, graphs. So in as my presentation will progress, I will show you these different forms of digital resources. So generally people ask what a simulation are. So they have a doubt, what do we understand by simulations? So simulation is a broader category under which all AR, VR resources come. So whatever concept which needs a greater clarity by seeing it in the form of a 3D image or near to real image of an abstract concept is fall under the category of simulation. So there are a lot of processes that we have in our textbooks or in our curriculum to teach students, like different landforms. So Kashmir is very rich in landforms. We have mountains, we have valleys, we have waterfalls, and a lot of other landforms. So how these landforms are created, so that is the subject or concept which is dealt with in the subject like geography. But we all know that all these landforms takes a century to be formed. So teaching the process of formation of such landforms is a very abstract concept, and it is a very difficult to explain if we try to explain it verbally without any digital content. So here the best way to show is a near to real image of how some kind of landforms are formed. So I will be showing you examples in between my presentation of all these explanations that I am giving. So apart from that, there are also some systems in our body like digestive system, respiratory system, how our ear graphs sound, how the images are formed on retina, how eye work. So all these processes are also very abstract concepts. So when we have some simulation or a digital content in the form of simulation, so it makes it easier to comprehend all such abstract concept or concepts which we cannot just see as they are explained in the textbook. So there comes the role of simulation. So here is the another list. The list continues: animation, cartoons, slideshows, timelines, diagrams, flow diagrams, charts, and graphs. So these are different forms of digital content, and we can have all these. If we talk about formats of digital resources, if you have an e-text, you can have it in the form of a PDF. If you have an audio, you can have a MP3 file. If you have a video, you can have a MP4 file. A MP3 file can also be created or converted into an MP4 file. And as far as Diksha is concerned, it supports MP4 file, that is a video file. So we need to have audios also in MP4 format. So this was about formats. So now let us go on to the examples of digital resources, which I listed in the previous two slides. So here you can see an example of mind map. So there are a lot of free and open source software using which you can create such beautiful mind maps. I'm not saying that this is an absolute example of a mind map. It is not created by me. I have downloaded it from somewhere, but the idea is just to give you an idea of what is a mind map. So the two software which I use to create mind maps are Free Mind and Free Plane. So you can also download these two software or some other software also. If you Google mind mapping software, so you will get a list. So I am giving you example of the software which I have tried out: Free Mind and Free Plane. So you can note down the software. So here in this mind map, common food groups are shown. So the creator has categorized these food groups into 7 categories, that is vegetable, fruit, grains, beans, and legumes. Then water. Had I created this mind map, I have, instead of water, I have written it as liquids. Then confectionaries, meat, and dairy. So you can group the food items as per the image you have in your mind. That is why they are called mind maps. So how you want to organize the learning on the concept which you are going to teach or which you are going to deal with it. So that is the purpose of creating mind map. You can also use mind map to make a presentation also. So if you have to make a presentation, you can create a mind map of the sequence of presentation that you are going to do and can create a presentation using this software. Or you can also create such mind maps to explain content in a better way, because you can unfold learning on a particular concept or content by gradually unfolding the mind map. This is a screenshot of the mind map. If you create it, so you can unfold it gradually. Like when you click onto common food groups icon, so you will get these 7 categories. And if you click on the categories one by one, so items linked to that category will open up. So like that, the your image or your mind map gets unfolds, and you can just take the learning forward using this the mind map. So this content which I am going to project now is an example of infographic. We can also call it, put it under the category of an infographic, and it can also be called a flow diagram, because there is a flow in the concept which it is dealing with. So let me click on to this. I have to stop share, then you will, the infographic will be visible. Just a moment. Just wait for a moment. It was on my presentation. Yeah, so you can see the infographic or a flow diagram on the screen. So this is infographic is on the learning outcome, which is an FLN, Foundational Literacy and Numeracy Learning Outcome for Class 3 EVS. And the outcome is the learner identifies relationships with and among family members. So this is the learning outcome. To achieve this learning outcome, this infographic is created. And here you can see Rani's family tree and the relations that she has in her family, like her dada, dadi, nana, nani, and their offsprings. So another infographic is there on the same concept, so which is Shalini's family tree. So here also you can see in Shalini's family, dada, dadi, nana, nani, and their offsprings are there. But these, the relation which she shares, Shalini shares with the offsprings of their dada, dadi, and nana, nani, are different from the offsprings the previous flow diagram had. That was uh, Rani's family tree. And there is another family tree, Raju's family tree. And here also you can see different relations. So three diagrams are made because while dealing with any educational content, educational concept, so we need to adhere to certain norms and requirements. So in our Indian constitution, we need to adhere to small family norm. So that is why through one single flow diagram or one single infographic, all the relations are not shown. So we need to create, needed to create three infographics to show all the relationship within and among family members, and adhering to the constitutional norms which we need to take care of. So and that is it. So now let us move on to another one. So this is an example of diagram, and which shows the concept of waterfall formation. So there are a lot of animations which are available to explain this concept. So here it is chosen to have I have chosen to show you a diagram. So here you can see on the top hard rock, and over the top of hard rock water is flowing. Then there is a soft rock, and it is labeled as undercutting. When water flows over the soft rock, so because it is soft, so undercutting on soft rock is faster than the hard rock. So over a period of time, an overhang or a platform is developed, which is made of hard rock, because soft rock get undercut or decayed. So when the pressure of water is very high on the hard rock, so it gets collapsed. So that is why we can see a lot of broken stones beneath a waterfall. So in a few minutes, the formation of waterfall has been explained using a diagram. So that is the power of using any digital content when we are trying to explain some concept. And if you use an animation on the same concept, so it will take 1 minute to 30 seconds to visualize the entire process of waterfall formation, which actually takes centuries to form. So yeah, this is an example of timelines. So here I have taken a timeline which depicts policy directions and initiatives on ET, educational technology and ICT. So wherever there is some kind of chronology involved, so timelines are the best digital resource to be used. So here you can see a chronological, the development of policy directions and ICT initiative. What were the ICT initiatives based on those policy directions through a timeline. So the process started in 1972 when ET scheme was launched, and then in 1983 INSET was launched, 1984 class project was launched, and I think in the previous session, Dr. Angel might have explained this timeline to you when she was taking a session on ICT initiatives. But let me just pass it through so that we can understand this as a digital resource which is called timeline. So in 1986, NEP was launched, NEP 86, and its program of action came in 1992. Then in 2004, IT at a school scheme that was for school education, and National Mission of Education ICT was launched for higher education. Then in 2010, revised ICT at school scheme was launched, and through this scheme, ICT awards were also made a part of ICT at school scheme to promote use of ICT in teaching, learning, and assessment. Then in 2012, ICT policy was formed. In 2013, NROER and ICT curriculum initiatives were taken up by CIT and CRT. In 2015, Digital India campaign was launched, and as per Digital India, the initiative which were done by CIT and CRT were e-Pathshala, development of e-Pathshala mobile app, and a launch of EPG Pathshala, that was for higher education, to put courses on EPG Pathshala, all PG courses in online version. In 2014, Swayambhu, Swayamprabha, DTH TV channel, and Diksha, all these initiatives were launched. In 2018, Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan and cyber safety and security guidelines for school education were developed. So you can see in 2019, guidelines for the development of e-content for school and teacher education were this initiative was done. And as we all know, in 2020, NEP, National Policy of Education 2020, was given away to the country. And digital education guidelines have already been developed, and PM E-Vidya initiative was launched across the country. We all are party to it. CIT NCRT has launched 12 DTH channel under PM E-Vidya, and Diksha is also initiative on this government policy or government launch only. So through the timeline, we could see the journey of the development of education, education technology and ICT starting from 1972 to 2020, and all the initiatives as per NEP 2020 are in a pipeline or have been initiated in 2021 and 2022 as well. So we are progressing ahead as per the National Policy of Education 2020. So I'm explaining this just to reiterate the point, how using a digital resource you can visually depict or showcase the chronology and explain it. So then this is an example of cartoon. So here the concept of evolution of these species uh, is the topic which is under consideration. To just introduce this topic, which is very, very complex and scientific, we can use a lighter digital content as good as cartoons. So we can show that just to warm up the class, to initiate the understanding of a complex concept like evolution of species. So there is a photograph hanged on a tree with the caption "missing since a billion years," and an image of dinosaur is there which got extinct. And there are a lot of species which are in the process of extinction and also in the process of evolution. So that is how we can use this cartoon to warm up our class to understand this particular phenomena. This is an example of comic strip. I will just play it, and it is based on the concept of uh, uh, the occurrence of acidity and how acidity happens in human stomach, or human being suffer from acidity, and what are the easy remedy of acidity. So this concept is um, just showcased in the form of a very interesting, easy to make digital content, that is comic strip. You can use PowerPoint to create such a comic strip. You just have to have the graphics based on the concept. You have to place them on a PowerPoint presentation. Then you can add music to it, or you can add subtitling to it. You just have to set times after how many seconds you want your slides to be changed, and then you can save it as video. So it will be saved, your PPT will be saved as video, and such comic strip will be created. So let me play the comic strip. So it is titled as Kill the Acidity, and here you can read the dialogue. So this boy is having a burning sensation in his stomach. So he shares it with the girl Ria, and she says, "You are suffering from acidity." So the boy is astonished, acidity. So then the girl says, "Yes, if you have excess of acid in your stomach, then you feel burning sensation." So then the in the next slide, the boy says, "Yeah, let the slide turn on." So he says the acids are corrosive. So it can make hole in a piece of wood. So the girl is saying our stomach has a powerful cell or called epithelial cells, and it produces mucus in our stomach, and the wall of our stomach is covered with the that mucus, which is comes from epithelial cells. So, and it protects our stomach from getting eroded or from getting a hole in it. So, in a very interesting manner, the concept of acidity and the role of epithelial cells in protecting our stomach from acidity is explained through this comic strip. So then the girl also shows way to combat acidity if we immediately consume a glass of milk, so we get we get relief from acidity. So this was an example of a comic strip. So let me move on to yeah, another slide. So this is a small, very simple simulation, and it shows how digestion occur in amoeba. So we all know that amoeba is a single cell organism, and how it gets its food and how it gets digested is the concept which is depicted here using a small simulation. I will be showing you some more examples of simulation at the end, because they are not embedded in my PPT. They are there in my folder. So I will show you some more simulations. So let us see some other resources. One more simulation is there, which is embedded in my PPT. So this is about this simulation is augmented reality, based on the principle of augmented reality. Some sounds are coming. Yeah. So let me explain it. So there is a mobile app called Quiver, and there is a website also called Quiver, Quiver. So you will get some sheets, some sketches, depicting sketches on that. And if you scan those sheets, take print of the sheets and scan them through the mobile app Quiver, you will get a 3D image of the concept that that sheet carries. So here the concept is volcanic eruption, and you can see how we can augmented the experience of volcanic eruption, because we cannot show how volcanic eruption takes place to our children. So simulation or a near to real a 3D experience is the best way to explain the concept of volcanic eruption. So let me play it. So I have created a video of the entire process of scanning the sheet and then getting it in the form of a 3D visualization. So this is the sheet, and it is being scanned by the Quiver app. And the sketch you can see is of a volcano. So by scanning it, now you can see that it is turned into a 3D image of a snow-clad volcano, and then how volcano looks in summers, and what it is like from inside, and how it erupts, what happens when it gets erupted. as far as creating such augmented reality content is concerned, the people who belong to academics, they can work on the concept, because this uh, the development of such content is can be done only by a team which involves technical people and which involves academic people, teachers, for example. So they can create the concept in the form of storyboard, how they want the a particular concept to be shown in 3D, and then the technical people using specific software can create such experience for the children. So in case of class 9th and 10th, NCRT has already uh, created their the images which need some 3D visualization in the form of augmented reality, or we can call it AR, VR content. So here you can see an example of an image which carries this a lot of kitchen utensils, and it gives children a gamified experience, and you can discuss a lot of allied concept using this image. Like for this picture, we use it for fetching water, and there is a small kettle also. What is the use of a kettle, spoons, and other cooking utensils, and also utensils which we use to eat our food. And the concept of food can also be bring in the classroom using such gamified images. Then this is again an image which carries a lot of uh, play and sports article hidden on it, and you can just take the learning forward using such images and discuss concept like various sports and games, and in what sports events are played, who are the winners, and also about rules and regulations of the
Sorry for
sports.
coming
Yeah.
in. Indu ma'am, just you need to come back to the previous session, because previous slide, because there was a connection issue here. We lost a little minutes.
This one,
Ma'am, we could see till AR/VR.
uh,
After
volcanic eruption wala.
that, we could see from next.
Acha.
I
Haan,
think,
this was the next. This was the next. Okay. So this
yeah.
is an image of which can give children a gamified experience. And there are a lot of kitchen utensils which you can see here in this image, and concept of food, cooking, fetching water, and lot of other concepts you can bring in the classroom using this image. So you can ask children to identify the images hidden, and then you can build discussion around it. Same with the next slide, which carries a lot of sports and play articles, game articles into it. So you can also use it in a physical education class. Teachers can use it in a physical education class, and take them through a lot of concepts which this kind of image can help a teacher to bring in the classroom. So here you can also make, like my team is there, the people are there, Dr. Angel and other team members from CIT are there at Jammu and Kashmir. So they can use this opportunity to click photographs which later on can be created. I'm just setting an example. Later on can be turned into digital resources. So here in this particular video, so I have created a video for ease of demonstrating it. So there are photographs of birds and animals which are taken from an animal and bird sanctuary, from animal and bird sanctuaries. A little research has been done around them, and they have been created in powerful digital resources. So you will see the name of the bird, scientific name of the bird, if they have any migratory habits, or if they are also called by some alternative name. So let me play the video to see how photographs can be created into learning resource. So it is this video carries birds and animals only, but we can also take up historical monuments and other such concepts to build digital resources using photographs. Golden presentation. So this one was an example of photographs as learning resources. So this I will skip. This is also an example of animation. I will show you another one, which is stop motion animation. So this is an example of interactive contents, which again carries gamified learning experience for learning and also for assessment. So let me play this. These are created using a software called H5P. So let me click on to play it.
तोल कर बोल। तराजू पर रखे हुए सामान को तोलने के लिए उतने भार के बाट को तराजू के दूसरे पलड़े पर रखें। दोबारा प्रयास करें। बहुत अच्छे। Arrange numbers on the ladder in ascending and descending order. Well done. Well done. Well done. Oops, try again. Well done. Well done. Well done. Identify the occupation. Write the name of occupation in the blank space. वेल डन। देखें और पहचानें। क्लू को पहचानकर सही विकल्प पर क्लिक करें। शांग नाम की यह सभ्यता पीली नदी घाटी के आसपास विकसित हुई। यहाँ के लोगों ने लेखन, रेशम के कपड़े, ईंट, मिट्टी और लकड़ी के भवन बनाने की शुरुआत की। बहुत अच्छे। चूचू करती आई चिड़िया, जल्दी नाम बताओ भैया। पक्षियों के सही नाम को पहचानें। बहुत अच्छे।
So that is how we can create interactive content using gamification and use them for learning and also for assessment. So I will stop my screen and I will show you one more form of digital content, that is stop motion animation. So let me play that. So this is about how wheel was invented. Just a moment.
She's just opening it. Ma'am, can you please?
Yes, Dr. Angel?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. You can replay so that we can see from the start.
Okay.
एक दिन मानव ने ढलान पर देखा एक लुढ़कता लट्ठा। एक दिन मानव ने ढलान पर देखा एक लुढ़कता लट्ठा। गोल 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 लुढ़का ढलान पर,
गोल गोल लुढ़का ढलान पर,
पहुंचा नीचे फैले मैदान पर। गोल 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 गोल। देख उसे कुछ उसने सोचा, सिर खुजलाया किया विचार।
मैं तो इसको ढो थकता, मैं तो इसको ढो थकता, पर यह तो खुद भी चल सकता।
गोल 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 गोल। बांध इन्हें घर में लुढ़काऊं, रख इन पर भारी सामान।
हाँ, पल में काम मेरा हो जाए, पल में काम मेरा हो जाए, मेहनत भी मेरी बच जाए। हाँ,
गोल 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 गोल। फिर उसने कुछ और भी आंका, लट्ठे को टुकड़ों में काटा।
हाँ, एक धुरी से दो को बांधा, एक धुरी से दो को बांधा, धीरे धीरे किया सुधार। हाँ, यूं हो गया पहिया तैयार, यूं हो गया पहिया तैयार, यूं हो गया पहिया तैयार। गोल 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 गोल।
पहिया।
So this was an example of an stop motion animations, and using such animations we can discuss concepts like earliest discoveries and inventions and their role in just changing the pace of the development of human civilizations. So there are uh, three early discoveries and inventions like discovery of fire, agriculture, and invention of wheel, which changed the pace of the development of human civilizations. And most of the institutions that we see now, and the institution as complex as the institution of a nation, is because of these earliest discoveries and inventions. So, simpler to more complex phenomena related to uh, the human history and civilizations can be linked to such animations. It is up to the creativity of a teacher how she utilizes these digital contents and how she links more learning to a digital resource, because digital resource in itself is not a complete thing to take learning forward. So we have to reinvent our role and just decide how we have to integrate it into our teaching learning plan. So I will show you two more examples of simulations which relates to biology, that is digestive systems and respiratory systems. There are apps called digital biodigital human. So those simulations are available on those apps. So let me share my screen again so that we can see that also. Just a minute. Let us open both. I'm just opening it. It will take a few seconds. Hmm. So here you can see how digestion takes place in human body. Just a and what is the role of large intestine, small intestine, and all the other organs. So there are, you can see some more labels here. So you can see the simulation of all such uh, processes through this digital content. Along with the labeling of organs. So let me show you another one. So this is respiratory systems and the organs involved. So just showing such simulations to your students, we can explain the concept of such procedures occurring into our body in a more near to real form, and in a more easy to comprehensible manner. So I'm closing it. So these were various forms of digital contents and their educational uses, which we just saw in the PowerPoint presentation. ये full screen है ना?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Not at all.
This full screen. So yeah. So how we can integrate all such digital resources in our teaching learning plan? So they can be done in three ways. We can make use of a digital resource pre-lesson, mid-lesson, and post-lesson. And a lot of teaching learning models and methodologies we can adopt by using such resources. So if you decide to use your digital resource pre-lesson, you can also you are also actually practicing the flipped learning. You can practice flipped learning. You can share all your resources before the lessons with the students. They can come prepared. They watch the content and come prepared with the questions or discussion point that they need to carry forward in the class. So that ways we can use or utilize classroom time in a more productive manner, having discussions around a digital resource. But there can be some resources which are best to be utilized mid lesson. So wherever there is a requirement of having a digital resource which you want on spot when you are teaching a concept, you can just bring that resource forward mid lesson. And to culminate learning, or to just give a closure to learning in a more creative way, we can also ask a student to watch some resources post lesson. Like you have taught some historical concept, then you can ask the student to watch a movie based on that particular concept. You can prescribe them that movie or video, so that learning gets more consolidated using such digital resource. So that was all about today's presentation. So thank you very much. Thank you for patient hearing.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
We have a little more time, 2 minutes maybe. So if there is any question, so we can take question. Otherwise, we can close.
Any questions you would like to ask, or any observation you would like to share? Ma'am, as such, we don't see anybody having a question or observation.
Okay.
So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing about the digital resources. So I'll be sharing the presentation with all the participants as well. And since some of them couldn't join morning itself, we have recorded your session and we will be sharing the session with them as well.
Okay, Dr.
Thank,
NK. Thank you very much for
thank
having
you
me.
so much.
Thank
Okay.